Okay, so we're going to do part 2. I'm sorry. We ran into a little snafu here. So we're going to continue the best way we know how. Okay, so I wasn't able to record the Andrew House show of soundbite. We got plenty of soundbites as it is. Okay, so now 2 p.m. in the planning room. The orders were to go to the Longworth House office building, where an accountant for Bill Hume has some data in a briefcase. So by 2:45, they go to the Longworth House office building. JR meets with Norris, the accountant. He works for Bill Hume. I was told to give this to Rich Avis, but I don't trust him. Please, don't tell the congressman I did this. With that, JR climbs back in his car, where Conrad took him straight home. He would also take the briefcase and drop it off at the American Conservative Union. After that, he was done with the day. 6 p.m. JR is summoned to his father's private den to have a conversation. Let's see if I can get it to cooperate.
Here he is, sir.
Thank you. Hold my calls. And, shut down all distractions and shit. And, make sure no one can come in. Yes, sir. Son, how was your day? That internship is something else. Difficult. Well, I'm giving you a position. You see, Rich Avis is in hiding. He sold the shares hoping that the company could hold itself solvent. You know? I have friends at OSI investigate federal frauds like Whitewater and such a thing as this. OSI has contacted the Ohio State Police. I want you to know something. Around the time that you were in Philadelphia taking over the company, my son, I want you to do this. I want you to take over the company. I'm going to go find this dude in his ranch house in Cleveland. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lead the trail of the state and federal authorities right to him. That's what I think it is. It's called Operation Kicking Ass, son. I never should have let him go across you no matter what. You believe that, Daddy? Why wouldn't I? You're my son. Screwed up. Shake your hand. Turn into a real man. Just one thing I wish. What? What is it, Daddy? she'd go back with Holly Hawthorne. It's my baby and another girl, David. David, let's not start. Alright, sorry, boy. Go in there. His company headquarters in Philadelphia and kick ass. Move it anywhere you want. Can I move it to 11? Damn straight, boy. You do what you want. Oh, one more thing. I love you. I love you too, Daddy. Okay, so it's June 15th, 1 a.m. Elizabeth awakes with abdominal pain, and Jaron Thomas helped get her tonic. This morning, Thomas and Rachel were going to take her to chemotherapy. 3 a.m., Jim and Betsy wake up for a quick shower. So they start getting ready to pack and getting the damn thing. 5:45 a.m. After taking the small mini rail train, Jim and Betsy arrive at gate C2. Now it is just a waiting game to see when the bus will take them directly to the American Eagle terminal. 7:05 a.m. Jim and Betsy ride a small bus that takes them directly to the American Eagle plane. And Jim and Betsy climb the stairs and go straight to first class seating. 7:25 a.m. American Eagle flight 3603 departs from Baltimore, Washington, D.C. International Airport, bound for Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. 9 a.m. As his parents land in Cleveland, JR is in the American Conservative Union planning room area, receiving orders from Maxine Ogletree, the House Ways Committee subcommittee on health, was going to be meeting there, and they needed some of the information that Dexter had compiled to be handed over to one of their staffers outside of the Longworth House office building. In charge of the operation was Bowden, who said he wanted to see Rich Avis put in a federal prison in Tennessee. What little did he know was JR's father would threaten to do. 9:45 a.m. outside the Longworth House office building, a staffer came running to JR's interns who had parked in the parking garage nearby. Thank God you guys came with this information. The committee has been waiting, and Rich Avis wants to ram this legislation through. 1 p.m. JR and the other interns had taken the minibus to Capitol Hill, and now they're sitting in the U.S. House chamber. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Avis is trying to put forth this extension of Medicare. Thanks to the help of the congressman from Maryland, however, since it failed to pass even the subcommittee level, I moved it to kill right now on right in the House floor. With all due appreciation, Mrs. Speak, this man would like to pass with all speed, Congresswoman Meek said. Point of order. Begging the gentle lady's pardon, but I second the motion because it so happened this bill did not pass submitting this committee. Congressman Cummings said, joined by one Democrat, Congressman, the bill was killed, never to be brought up again, under the name of Richard Avis. 3 p.m. JR is sitting with his grandmother in her apartment. When the door rings, it's Karen. Can you mind your P's and Q's? Why have you been avoiding me? Karen said. Well, let's see. Last Sunday, you ordered me around just saying you lost your patience. So see, this is the moment we settle this. Are you going to the home group Bible study tonight? Yes. And tell Brad that Carmen is paying me. And Karen, what's your tone? My grandma's sleeping inside. 3:55 p.m. Jim is writing his speech for early tomorrow morning, as well as tomorrow night. He and Betsy had a power-packed evening together with an elite convention dinner backstage. Then at 6 tonight, then at 8 tonight, there was a trepidation because Ohio Chair of Commerce David Goodman was going to be speaking as the keynote speaker for the executive conference of the convention of the Association of Buckeye Entrepreneurs. 5 p.m. Jim and Betsy are, and the speakers nearby are having 3-course Mexican dinner for the elites in the group. 7 p.m. At the home group Bible study, this time Dr. Michelle was taking over, and the topic was religious reading. On the Christian TV show, Jay Sekulow comes on TV and says he is optimistic about the Supreme Court decision coming down with Rosenberger versus University of Virginia. Using his note taker from the state, JR gets very interested and takes copious notes. 9 p.m. As Carmen pulls the car right in the driveway, he can see the figure of a red-headed woman sitting on the porch. She makes her way to the lighted drive as JR gets out the door. How about it, Junior? Charlie says that we really should see each other. Can we go on a date tomorrow night? Too late, Holly. I'm not dating you. It's exactly what Daddy wants. But I'm leaving for Philadelphia tomorrow morning. So, I don't want to be bothered. Holly grabs Jared. Hey, don't you ignore me. You know, you told me 5 years ago that meeting me tells you that I bury Olivia Reynolds. Can't the same thing be said about you with Karen Crowder? Karen doesn't cheat. And remember, 4 years ago, you broke my heart last summer. You drove me crazy. So I don't really want to talk to you right now. Just then, Christine walks outside. Holly, if you know what's good for you, clear out, Christine said. Stay out of this. This is between your brother and me. My father was a dork for saying you two should be together. And besides, it's been years, Holly. Years. My brother pined away for you for months. And the best thing these idiot friends are good with is to take him away from you. Now go away. Jim walks into his suite to find his brother Carl nursing a bourbon. So how did you get up here? And Carl's like, well, I was doing some oil consulting in the area, and Betsy told me that you guys were staying here, and she got Asuka and Estefan Chin to let me in. Where's Donna? Oh, back at the hotel with Max. The family's on vacation while I'm here. We're not returning back to Texas until Thursday. Betsy comes out in her pajamas. Oh, hey, Jim. Betsy. You're saying damn good after this long day to see you. Up there, politicking as always, Carl said. But hey, it's good to be together as a family. That's what Jim and I were talking about yesterday, Betsy said. Tired of chasing power, Jim said. Of course, after this little technicality that the Clinton administration, of course, after this little technicality with the Clinton administration, Jim and I are going to take a vacation with J.R. and Christine. It's a real family. I don't know. Last week, he was cheating on me, basically. This week, he's being the same. No, I ain't. Well, to me, you are. You rescued my family's ranch from being mortgaged. You built up an empire. You've come to your senses. Make out later, Carl said. Betsy, I'm doing this for us. For the first time in years, Jim, I believe I can forgive you. I believe you. Betsy goes back into the bedroom. I'm glad you're here to see this, Carl. So now that you know, I'm no longer some power-hungry chaser, Jim says. Retired from public service. And I believe you. Hell, Betsy wants to buy a hotel in Jamaica. Woo! Carl. Okay, the 16th. On the last leg, praise the Lord. Okay, flashback dream. JR, May 11th, 1991. The bus drops off Holly at the Texas State Capitol so that she can walk to her apartment. And JR's like, look, you can't just shell popular. You came to the bar outside. And ask for extra special service for strawberry daiquiri. When you know damn good and well the police were watching us. You call yourself somebody that's ladylike? JR corrected Holly. How dare you? I can use a fake ID if I want to. My parents are not in charge of me. And you're not in charge of me, Holly Hawthorne said. Goodbye, Holly. Mama says time may come. I can't see you that much anymore. 2 a.m. Jim is speaking at an executive session of a convention. It's a session called Pub Riders. Okay, so now 4:20 a.m. Kevin and JR walk up and go downstairs to make some waffles in the toaster. Everyone else is awake. Elizabeth Marie and Bobby had already flown to Houston yesterday. And Sergeant Forever flying to Dallas. But the Philadelphia crew was ready to go. Okay, 4:30 a.m. A team of state and federal squad cars followed Jim's limo to the Circle K Ranch just outside of Cleveland. Now, before mentioning OSI, I want to clarify that I've decided is a shadow government agency that works with the Department of Justice. So they walk into the living room, and there's Clifford. I know you're here to Richard, but you're a bit too late. He's not open for visitors. The female OSI squad lady puts out her flashes her bags. Federal agents, step aside. And so Jim charges into the ranch office to confront the billionaire. Don't you dare, Avis, think you can double-cross my boy. I warned you, and now you're in serious trouble. I have nothing against you, Jim. I just think you're a bit crazy, Rich said. No. You gone nuts. Federal agents threat. Federal agents are at the door. And now, I may open that door. You're gone. And that damn mad analyst, Clifford. By dawn, both Rich Avis and Clifford were placed in federal custody. Dexter would call me at the airport and tell me. He told me to meet him at Independence Hall with my father later on that afternoon. 6:20 a.m. The Hendrick party arrives at Dulles International Airport, and they go through the terminal procedures and board the plane. 6:50 a.m. The private jet carrying the Hendrick party taxis down the runway and departs Dulles International Airport to Philadelphia International Airport. I'm going to be getting the rental car and driving down to Red Scout headquarters in Philadelphia to do registration. You got that board meeting. So your mom arranged a limo for you. Okay, so it's 7:10 a.m. Jim and Betsy are talking over breakfast. I nailed that sucker. And it's my hope that both he and Clifford be put in separate federal prisons, Jim said. Well, at least it's now over, Betsy said. He can't betray our son again. It's only begun, Betsy. You see, your mama's gonna be with him when he arrives at the board meeting. Okay, so trying to make a long story short, at 8 a.m., the private jet arrives in Philadelphia International Airport, and there the limousine picks up JR and the rest of the party. Okay, 8:30 a.m. at the boarding room of Avis Air Charters, the members are getting nervous. Something is wrong. Avis is late. Mark Stanton, Vice President of Marketing, said, "Don't be ridiculous. Rich Avis is never late. He'll be here." Don't bank on him coming," Gerald said. "Seems to me you're a vigorous buffoon." Leader has been arrested for fraud. Grandma Elizabeth said, wheeling into the room. "You see, my late husband, when he was ranching, he bought some shares to this company in the early 80s. Well, now we found a kind of sale. We found a codicil in his will that says that these shares go to my grandson. And there he is. My granddad was able to buy 9,500 shares of this place for pennies on the dollar back in the 80s recession. Well, now, wow. The fearless leader was backstabbing, committing fraud, and hiding from federal authorities with little help. I've asked about the shares. 10,000 shares. In your face. They can't do this. Hillary Taylor, an executive from marketing, yelled. "Get these hicks out of here." "Legally, you can't do that," Regis Phillips said. "You see, this country bumpkin knows the law. And we are setting up a takeover of Avis Air Charters and moving headquarters to Texas. My daddy had your leader arrested for fraud. And in order to keep the company from being taken out in the feds, he arranged for me to take it over. And don't count on Rich Avis's financial analyst executive either. He's been arrested for fraud." Catalina Cleopatra walks into the boardroom. "I have been waiting for this for a long time. It's bad enough that you've been double-crossing a blind internship with an activist group that I kind of like. And you expect all of you to get away unscathed? She takes out a ruler. Now, let me tell you something. All you sitting on this board currently gets constituted is dismissed. It's dismissed. Dismissing you will be a pleasure. At least J.R. Hendrick knows to diversify. He may be blind, but he ain't prejudiced. You see, we Hicks know a thing or two, Kathleen Lee Guilfoyle said. My husband told me 2 years ago that I would help take over an executive board. Well, looks like he gave me the opportunity. You see, Chair legally gave me some of those shares. I hate backstabbers, and I eat them for breakfast, Catalina said. Ever doubted? Just ask my ex-husband. 11 a.m. Kevin arrives with his rental car, 95 Jeep Grand Cherokee at Avis Air Charters, and picks up JR. With them is a graduate of University of Colorado, Cornelius Blue. He's studied some at Regent Law School over the summer and is about to go University of Texas Law School in the fall. And so they get in there and Kevin says, JR, this is Cornelius Blue. He said he was on the swim team in high school and college. An All-American. And JR was like, what's your stroke? And he said he got Australian crawl. Just then, there's some ruffians, some youth, and they're throwing rocks in the car. This is fun, JR said. And Cornelius says, lovely. Let's get the hell out of here. So, these are kids, hoodlums. Probably some that were upset by their parents doing this on the board. And JR's like, gas it, go, go, go. Okay, and they arrive. It's 11:25 a.m. They arrive at the Blackwell house. And Francis says, well, Lady Suede, come on in here with me. Vincenzo, we get your bags. And Sally's like, Jerry, I'm going to go sit down in the shade. I'll make some ice cold lemonade. And Kevin says, look, Cornelius says, I got to be back to Scout headquarters for registration. We'll be back around 3. Okay. 1 p.m. Jerry and Sally are crawling around in the Blackwell swimming pool. And Sally's like flirting with Jared. One of these days, Jared, I won't be the same. I'm gonna marry you and change my name. And Jared's like, let's just focus on this private good time we're having private right now. And she says, I love Texas. She's whispering in his ear, I love Texas. And I like to influence desirable men like you. Jill. A part of me grew fond of Sally, and we visit from time to time. But in 2010, she married a young conservative man who was also connected with the Kennedys. Okay. I feel like a part 3. 1:54 p.m. Jim gets back on the private jet. He gets on the private jet that takes him from Cleveland to Philadelphia. 2:35 p.m. The private jet departs from Cleveland to go back to Philadelphia. All right. 3:10 p.m. Kevin and Claudia and Cornelius return, and Sally fixes everyone tall glasses of ice mint tea. And Francis Blackwell says, "So Hendrick, how is that father of yours doing?" And Jared's like, "Well, he's on his way. He's coming in for a little bit, but he's got to fly back to Cleveland tonight. Mama and us are going to be staying with us tonight." And Francis says, "Swing." He says, "Francis, yeah. Swing, ladies and gentlemen. They're a little bit more refined. Your father and your sister, they are pure blunt." Jim said he had to be that way because his father, that he was a coward. And J.R. stands up for him for the first time, and he said, "Well, he was not." And Francis said, "Kevin, I couldn't help notice you're in impeach Clinton bumper sticker on the car. Tell me. Tell you the truth, I wish she was gone too." And Alice says, "Of course, Uncle Frank. We all know how we feel about Bill Clinton." Sally said, "What I want to know, JR, is what are you going to do after college?" And JR's like, "Well, I'm going to law school, and after that, I guess I will have to go work with my father, my daddy." And Francis says, "Don't get me wrong, I like Jim Hendrick, but her son working for your father, and I'm concerned that you're going to face a lot of distress and anguish. Begging your pardon, Mr. Blackwell, but Jim is too hard. So Elizabeth was saying that how hard Jim is, and just like Grandma. Just then, the cell phone rings. Mrs. Rackman. Gerald's got to go to Independence Hall. 4 p.m. Jim's plane arrives in Philadelphia. The limo takes Betsy to the Blackwell house. Jim has to hop on the train. Okay, so everyone arrives in Independence Hall. They exchange a few pleasantries. Mrs. Rackman, I'm sorry now, but I don't want no credit for this, Jim said. Hold up, Rackman said. It doesn't work that way. You helped put Rich Avis in jail. Clinton would be a fool to fire you. I don't care if he does. I don't care if he doesn't. Okay, most of you get back to D.C. The House is voting on something this afternoon. And I would like you to get on the internet before you get out on the plane and find something. Meanwhile, I've got to go see a paternal aunt for this weekend here in Philadelphia. I feel so empty, Dexter said. JR, Jim said, hugging him tightly. The son after my own heart. You did what I wanted you. You purchased it. JR's like, Grandma spent some of this swing money. How about the shares? Makes my net worth of $127 million. Well, son, you just be you. So Jim hops on a train. JR, Kevin, and Cornelius get in the car to go back to the Black Road Mansion. Okay, so 6 p.m. They're at Puccini's Italian restaurant at Philadelphia International Airport. They're having dinner. And so Francis Blackwell's on. So President Clinton sent you on another wild goose chase? And Jim's like, well, it's my supervisor, Philip Blair. He's so down, disorderly. He don't know what end is up. Elizabeth says, yes, me, Mr. Blackwell. They're all bastards. Grandma Elizabeth said. Jim says, Francis, you must excuse my mother-in-law's behavior. What she says was in mine. And she's always mistrusted politics. I believe they're all delinquents. Well, a public service, Grandma, Jared said. That was your granddad's thing, not mine. Okay. 6:50 p.m. Jim gets on American Airlines Flight 5518, first class, bound to Cleveland. And he's delightedly sitting next to this 18-year-old girl, Princess debutante. They fly back together. 7:25 p.m. Jim's flight takes off from Philadelphia, bound for Cleveland, Hopkins International Airport. 8:25 p.m. JR and Sally, Kevin, Neelis White and Christine are having snacks in the Blackwell Mansion. 11 p.m. Arriving at the Ambassador Hotel in Cleveland after several hours. Jim was asked to go to the elevators, and someone says, Priscilla says, well, let's go and have this jacuzzi clean and then tell them your pillows. She'll be back tomorrow to provide room service. Okay. Now we're going to do 17 and 18. Praise the Lord. Because I'm... The truth is, I just gotta find it. Here it is. Tara. Now, in case you've forgotten, Daddy flew back to Cleveland and met before where he had a speech, a special VIP treatment for Congressman Sherman Ryder. He had a private audience with the governor and even had a brief lunch with the president of the Association of Buckeye Entrepreneurs. But now, he's ready to start his vacation. 1:25 p.m., the private jet carrying Jim departing Cleveland Hopkins Airport, bound for Richmond International Airport. Finally, for a few days, I can put my duties with President Clinton aside, Jim said. Already angry for having to spend yet another day in Cleveland before he can start his vacation. Mike Fields had arranged a limo, pick him at the airport, to take him to the Underwood Mansion in Fairfield. 3 p.m., mansion arrives, plane arrives, and they go to the mansion. 5 p.m., the Hendrick party arrives at the mansion of the former Mrs. Scotty Underwood, Michelle Weiss Underwood. She gladly gave the mansion back to her husband to get a divorce final. Annette, the French servant, said this: Monsieur Hendrick, the servants will get the bags. Monsieur Underwood, you'll be home here and come tomorrow. Okay, so they walk into the living room and they're greeted by some iced tea and gingerbread shortbread cookies. Grandma Elizabeth and JR get an apartment on the ground floor. Okay, 7 p.m. The family has barbecue ribs, potato salad, corn muffins, and a choice of apple fritters, and ginger shortbread cookies. 3:15 a.m. Elizabeth wakes up with abdominal pain, cramps, and so JR goes and gets her tonic. And then she goes in the living room to watch country music videos. JR goes into his room to listen to Christian radio. 6:20 a.m. Everyone sits down for breakfast. Fried eggs, a choice of cinnamon French toast, bacon, and choice of milk or orange juice. There's a Red Scout rally tonight. I figured that JR would want to spend time with his father, but Cornelius and I are going. I do want to stay here and celebrate my daddy, Jared said. Well, I guess we've done our best this past week. Which Avis is in federal prison, waiting for trial. Waiting for trial by fraud, Betsy says. U.S. Attorney says he gets 20 years, Jim said. I heard on the radio that morning Clifford's already pled guilty. Most likely get 6 months. 9 a.m. The whole family with JR and Karen and Brad, Chapel Hill Baptist Church. 9:30 a.m. Jim is at the morning assembly of the Fairfield Assemblies of Christ. 1 p.m. the family sits down again for barbecue ribs lunch. And 2 p.m. Jared's in the living room listening to Christian Top 40 music from a Father's Day theme. 3 p.m. JR is in the apartment listening to the radio. When his cell phone rings, it's Brad. Hey, JR, can you come down outside? Brad said, Karen wants to talk to you. So he goes outside and she says, I'm sorry. My mother's been giving me hell. She don't want me to with you. But I don't care. He says, well, did you... Jared says, well, did you call your daddy wishing Father's Day? And she said, the man that brought me into this world, he's not my father. And several of my mother's husbands, Mom won't let me get close to. So, God is my father. And Brad said, good answer, kid. We're staying at the Fairfield Inn Suites. We'll be leaving for Washington tomorrow morning. 3:45 p.m. JR's getting ready to go swimming. When his father calls him out again, he better hugs him. Kid after my own heart. You just keep on doing what you're doing. I'm very proud of you. Hope you enjoy listening to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Gentleman. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the adventure. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying until next time, get ready for the rest of the story. it gets interesting from here.